Hey Capricorn, how's everyone doing today? Today we are going to be doing your monthly energy reading for November. Very excited to see what it says, very excited to get into it. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up these cards. I'm going to be doing last month, Capricorn, I did 6 cards. This month I'm going to be doing 3. Last month was just a display of what my hour readings would be like, my hour personal readings. But from now on, I'm just going to go ahead and be doing about 30 minutes. I'm going to be doing the 3-card minis. And then I'll have a 4th card from the Loving Words of Yeshua deck. I always try to leave on a positive note and sweeten the pot. So I'm just shuffling my cards right now because they needed a good shuffle. If anyone wants to book a personal reading, you can always look in the description box. All that information will be on there. My social media accounts are on there as well if anyone wants to go ahead and follow my social media accounts. These things are getting mixed up good today. Ooh, that's a good one. That wasn't the one I was looking for. Let me find it. I went to pull one card, lost that card. Here we go. All right. All right, perfect. So I have 3 cards here for you, Capricorn. I just want to go ahead and explain a little something. Usually, sometimes depending on the deck, it'll have cards right side up or upside down when you pull. If you get any cards that are upside down, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad cards, that's bad or that means something bad. The way that I equate it is just that there's challenges in that area or something you need to work on or something that you're not seeing, something you're not being honest about. So that's what that equates to. I don't want anyone to think that when we pull bad cards, that's bad. Bad cards actually are upside down cards to me actually means that there's opportunity. So we are going to go ahead and get into the November reading, Capricorn. 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Okay. So let me go ahead and tell you how I see this. I see a guy. He is staring. Looks like he has 7 literal cups to choose from. Now, cups, that is equivalent to our water sign. So that is our Cancer. That is our Pisces. That is our Scorpio. When we think of water, we're thinking in terms of emotion, feelings. That's what water is the equivalent to. So it looks like he's got different things going on. Different things going on for him. Different things going on in his life. And he looks indecisive. He's imagining all the different possibilities, all the different scenarios. 7, when we see 7 is rewards. And whenever I think of a cup, I always think about someone's cup running over. Cups runneth over. But it doesn't look like this person's cups are running over, because the cups are upside down. They look like houses. It looks like, if anything, it's letting water out. It looks like there's rewards up for the taking, but I feel like you're being too choosy, too indecisive. You're not making the decision fast enough, or you feel the pressure to make a big decision. I feel lots of confusion. And you know what I always say about confusion. If there's confusion, any confusion at all, God's not in there. Where there's confusion, God can't be, because God is not a God of confusion. I see some snakes in the grass. I see success because I see the Greek wreath. I see success. I see snakes in the grass. I see you wanting to take the mask off. Too much funny shit's going on around you. And that's why you're indecisive. You're trying to figure out how to move. And I think it's affecting you. I think it's affecting you to the point that you're at a standstill. Where normally you're very good at seeing your blessings and being able to decipher what your blessings are. There's some people you don't trust. The only reason I think of that is because I see the snake here, like snakes in the grass. There's fog. It looks like there's just, you can't really see. It's white, but it looks like there's a lot of confusion because it's just very foggy. And look at him. He's indecisive. He's trying to make a decision. He's trying to figure things out. And it's fucking with your emotions. And I see a skull back here. Coming to some endings, having to sever ties from some things because they're affecting you on an emotional level. Having to cut ties from people, having to let go of certain situations. Capricorn, I feel like there are some layers of you that are going to be shed. The snake and the mask. I feel like there's layers that are going to be shed. And I feel like your next step is to let go. Yep, 5 energy, because the next card has the 5 on it. I feel like your next step is going to be, I feel like you're weeding through your emotions, you're checking everything out. There's a lot of confusion going on, but I do see the ability at some point to let go. It's not going to be easy. You're shedding skin. It's time for you. I feel like you're in a new season of your life, a season where you're moving forward. I do want to remind you, though, Capricorn, as you move forward, as things start to happen for you in your life, God needs to be your right-hand man because your life is going to do some of this. I mean, shit, isn't all of our lives doing that? But just with the process of having to let go and coming to new realizations of the person that makes you from having to let people go. And I'm not saying that that's going to make you a bad person. That's going to take some of the weight off of you and allow you to ascend, allow you to shift, allow you to move where you need to move. But I feel like the thing that I'm getting from this card, from the 7 of Cups, is that there is rewards that you can't see to come from these losses. And even though they seem like losses, they're really wins. They're really W's. I feel like God has his hand over your life, literally, and he's ready to bless you. But there's too much funny shit going on. You haven't cleared shit out the way how you need to. You know what you need to do. You know you need to do it. Because look at him. He knows. He knows shit ain't right. But he's trying to weigh out the pros and cons. And I feel like that's you. I feel like that's you all the way, Capricorn, trying to weigh out the pros and cons of the situation. Okay, if I do this, then I can do that. That's very much the energy I'm getting here. But you don't got no time for that shit. Cut your L's. Cut them. Cut them and keep moving. God has a plan for you. He has rewards for you. But he can't bless you if you won't bless yourself by letting go of the dead weight. He can't bless you if you... He can't bless you if you can't see what you need to do and do it. Because now you're being hesitant. I feel some people pleaser energy. Like you're so used to, because your loyalty, the loyalty of a Capricorn, that loyalty. Because I feel like you're so used to being loyal to people. I feel like you're so used to being the one that they can call on. Sometimes to the detriment of yourself. See that guy? He's over it. He's just like trying to spread himself thin, trying to help everything, do everything, be everything for everyone. 5 of Swords to his own detriment. When we think about the swords is air energy. So that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Right off the gate, I'm getting Aquarius energy. I'm getting some bloodsuckers. I hate to say it like that. These birds just remind me of people that just know that you'll be there. That like misuse you and misuse your loyalty. Like they won't go away. And I'm not saying like you want them to go away, but it's to the point where it's like, damn, can I even get a break? Can I even get a moment? Can I even get a second? And I feel like somebody from the past is going to try to skate their ass right back in. I don't know what this person's doing back here, but they're dressed all in black and it looks like they're doing like a little dance move to me. It's just because the dance move comes to mind. Looks like somebody's trying to skate their way back in your life, play on the emotions. I see them trying to ride the wave, the clout wave, trying to play on your emotions, water, symbolic. I see some red here. Oh no, some orange. Is that orange or red? I see a speck of red. I say to kill that shit and keep moving. Orange emotion, purple. They might try to play on the religious strings. I don't like that. And when I say religious, I don't mean religious really, but I feel like, okay, say you have a relationship, and this is something that came up because I started thinking about what it means to be evenly yoked with someone. Now, me, when I talk and I give my readings, you're going to hear a lot of interchangeability from me. You're going to hear a lot of variability because just like you, I'm trying to make sense in this world. But my mind, it puts the pieces together of imagery and words and numbers and things very quickly. And I feel like the message that I'm giving here is someone might try to play on the strings of, say you are a believer and you believe in God. I'm not talking about religion here. Take the notions away and listen to what I'm saying. Say that someone here has a relationship with God, okay? And you find yourself, you meet someone or you're with someone who you find maybe, and there's people that do that, and it's sad that I even have to bring this up, but there's people that play on those heartstrings of emotion when it comes to your relationship with a higher power. Devil in sheep's clothing. There's people who do that. I feel like you might be in a situation where you might find yourself unevenly yoked. You may be a type of person who has a relationship with God, and you may find yourself with someone who has no relationship with God. I'm not going to tell anyone how to handle their relationships. I'm going to say take heed and pay attention because this person in the back is wearing all black. I feel deception. I feel like things aren't what they may seem with someone or people for sure. Your friend group, because Swords is air. So when we think of air, we think of free spirits. We think of, we know the Aquarius, they're the water bearer for the reason. They carry the emotion and they carry the weight of their family and friends. And I feel that energy. You may have an Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising somewhere in the big three, or Aquarius in maybe the fourth chart, family, or the house. You may have, you're not happy with your circle. You're not happy with your friend group. You don't trust. Here's a bird right here, this black bird, gossipy. People are very gossipy. There's some gossipers. You're not keeping the best of company, and it's making you miserable. It's making you miserable. It's time to let go and let God, Cappy. It's time to move forward. That person that's out there seeing the back, let them go. We're not bringing back anything from the past. We're not doing that. 2022, we're moving forward. If someone doesn't make it into 2022 with us, it may be time to rethink them as a whole. Because like I said, 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 2022. That's 6 energy. That means things are about love. That means things are about self-love. That means things are about feeding your spirit, building a relationship with a higher party that's connected to God, aka your 3-year-old. 5 energy, 5 of swords. 5 means let go. Let go of the gossipers. Let go of the gossip. Let go of the meaningless communication. Let go of the old relationships. God is trying to push you forward, but you have a habit of going backwards due to your undying loyalty. Why in 2022? Why in 2021 are we still fucking loyal to people that are not loyal to us? Why? Why? For what? You can always have love for a person. You can always pray for a person. You can always send loving energy to a person. But why are you running yourself ragged, stressing and thinking about other people's problems? That you get no rewards for that. You get no rewards for that, because there comes a point to where we know if we're being used and abused. We know. Who is going to reward you for using and abusing yourself? One thing about God is He loves our hearts when we do for others. He loves to see that in us. But He does not love to see that in us to the extent of harm to the self. I feel like your soul is tired, Capricorn. I feel like you're tired of always being the one to show up. I feel like you're tired of always being the one. And there's nothing wrong with being loyal. There's nothing wrong with being a good person. It's all about love. At the end of the fucking day, it's all about love. It's all love here all the time. But you're not doing yourself, you're not doing anyone else any favors by babying them through this life. We've got to start holding people accountable. The same way, Capricorn, for instance, you would hold your children accountable. That same no nonsense, tough it out, cookie cutter layout of discipline and hierarchy that you have when it comes to the parenting aspect. If you're going to parent your friends, if you're going to parent them, don't baby them. Take that same energy you give to being a father, or obviously if you're a woman, that same energy though of discipline. Because if you're a mother, I'm sure you've got that same, that high. Then take that and give that to your grown ass friends. Give that to them. They're the ones that need that. Take that gushy baby ass love that you're giving to your friends and spread it out with your children. I feel like there needs to be balance here too. I'm feeling two energy. That's where you need to work on balance. We all have things we need to balance on. We all have things that we're super great at, and we all have things that we need work at. And even though you think that you're already perfect, Capricorn, I'm going to tell you that you need to balance out your emotions. And I feel like that's why you have this here, all this indecisiveness around your emotions, the Seven of Cups, because you're holding on to shit, and I think that's what the black is symbolic for. Holding on to negative, dark energy and energies that you don't need to be holding on. And those energies are affecting your energy. Those energies are affecting your inner child, your childlike mind and your childlike essence. You're still very much tainted. And I feel like you can't see it because you're so damn tired of everything that's going on around you with these grown ass people. I want to let you know that you have permission to set boundaries. That's your free will. That's your power. God gave us free will. That was all we needed, because that's the power right there. We get to make choices about who we are. We get to make choices about who other people are in our life. We get to make choices about how we choose to show up in our friends' lives, in our children's lives, in our family's life. We get those choices. That's what's so beautiful about, the power of choice. That's what's so beautiful about free will, being able to choose. What would your life be if you had made different choices? Different. So I feel like you need to take your power back with choice. You can say no. It doesn't make you a bad person for saying no. It makes you a strong person. It makes you an independent person. The headache will only stop if you stop it. I feel like you need someone to show up and be that positive light for you. Let me start as the example, and continue so by making better friend choices. It's not about cutting people off. I know your loyalty can't handle this, Capricorn. It's not about cutting people off, baby. It's not about that. It's about matching frequencies. Okay? It's about, if I'm serving you lobster dinner, why am I getting back hamburger helper? Nothing against hamburger helper. Don't get me wrong. I love to bust down a good hamburger. But I'm just saying, if I'm speaking life into you, if I'm pouring this into you, I feel like with the 7 energy, your presence damn near, the way you carry yourself with your loyalty is a gift, it's a reward. And I feel like you have people abusing it, so you need to drop them. 5 energy. God put you here for so much more, baby. But God put you here to be strong. You definitely have leadership qualities. You definitely have the capabilities to be a great parent. You definitely have a drive and a hunger that God's team could benefit from. Don't let your need to be loyal kill you. When I say that, I don't mean physical necessarily. I feel emotionally, spiritually. Your beliefs are your beliefs. And I feel like Capricorns are made on foundation. Like, you know how to set a steady foundation. So I don't believe that your beliefs could be wavered too easily unless there was physical proof, an actual reason. Let the way that some of these grown-ass people walk around be your proof. And I only say grown-ass people because once we turn 18, 1 plus 8 equals 9, that's completion. It's time to be of service. That's what the number 9 means. How can I be of service? How can I show up to my community? Who is my community? Everyone. How do I show up? How do I put the big girl or big boy panties on? That's what that means. So when I say grown ass people, I mean grown, because once they cross that threshold, it's time for these people to get up on their own 2 feet. If they can't get down on their knees and pray to God, or if they can't have conversation with God about how to get their life together, why should you spend all of your precious life that you have been gifted worrying about it? The worrier is not even you. The worrier actually is the Capricorn. I mean, not the Capricorn. The worrier is the Cancer. And the Cancer is your exact opposite in sign. So when you find yourself worrying instead of rushing through things head fast with our horns, Capricorn, you're actually opposite energies, which means that you are, where you could be thriving with positive energy, you're actually dense. You're negative in that way. You're not aligned. This is not you to be worried, stressed. That's not you. You weren't created for that, honey. That wasn't you. So you may have a Cancer moon, and that might be getting the best of you. That might very much be getting the best of you. Or maybe some water sign moon that's fucking with the emotions and getting the best of you. Let people go. If you have a water moon, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, then you could very much be an empath. An empath, we'll just go over this real quick. An empath is somebody who they feel other people's energies around them, and they pick up other people's emotions, and they carry them. Kind of like if I were to take some red ink and drop it into a bowl of water, then that bowl of water is going to turn red. That's water energy. It's the property we absorb. Water absorbs. So you may be absorbing other people's energy and not realizing it, and not cleaning yourself or keeping yourself clear of this energy. If anyone is within a certain amount of, feet from us, it's anywhere between 10 to 60 feet. Don't quote me, because I thought 60, then I thought 10, because I know I read that before, but anywhere from 10 to 60 feet, we have an energy aura that is around us. Once people come in contact with that energy aura, we pick up energies. Like if you're in a relationship with someone, or you hang around a certain friend group for a long time, you may find that you start acting alike, thinking alike, doing things alike, being able to share thoughts. Being able to, finish sentences, because you're sharing energies. That's why, like sex, when we're having casual sex with people, we're sharing energies. I mean, start thinking about this. And I got to tell you, Capricorn, because I feel like you have a lusty appetite for sex. And I got to tell you, too, if you have water in that, when when we think about, sex is sex. And a lot of people just look at it as a body thing. And I said, we're moving into 2022. We're going to start thinking about things spiritually. Ask yourself, okay? Well, you meet a person, you meet a girl, you meet a guy, and you look at them and you watch how they act. And, some ways that some people in this day and age might think, he looks good. Fuck it. It's a good time. Especially if they're under, the influence of something. If they're drunk or if they're, on drugs or whatever the case is. But if you stop and watch this person or people, is this someone that you want to start acting like? Do you want to physically take on their worries, stresses? Do you want to physically, spiritually take on their problems, their emotions? We don't think about this before we have sex because we're not trained to. So it's not, it's nothing to feel guilt about. We have to start understanding that as emotions come up, it's okay to feel them. It's okay to intellectually, sort out our emotions. That's emotional intelligence. Having a feeling come up and not just acting, but thinking about that feeling and thinking about how to handle that feeling. We also know that anything with horns has super anger problems. I feel like you play it cool, calm, collected a lot, but I feel like sometimes you just fucking seethe on the inside. During those moments where you're seething, we could be using emotional intelligence. I just feel like you're drowning in other people's problems because of your loyalty, and it's not that serious. It's okay to move away. God will still bless you. It's actually like a self-care to tell people no sometimes, honestly. Okay? All right, so this is where the challenge and the ally lies. Page of Swords. Okay? This is, and I'll tell you because I can't see the card very well. It is a girl. She's upside down. Well, we'll talk about right side up. It is a girl. She has birds around her, and she has light bulbs as balloons. And she is walking like a stick. And she's not even paying attention because she's so engulfed in whatever's coming out this book. There's different color splats. It's giving this girl different types of feelings, different types of emotions. First thing I thought about when I thought about the book is I thought about the Bible. Now, I'm not religious, and I'm not, these videos are newer, so I'll say it. To say it in the new video, I'm not the one to be explaining shit. That's not my jive, but I will elaborate. When we think about the Bible, okay, automatically we think religion. But we've got to do our own research. We've got to, and this is why this card's important too, because when we think Page of Swords, swords is air energy. So that's our Libra, that's our Gemini, that's our Aquarius. Those are our intellects. Those are our intellectual signs. Those are the thinkers. Those are the innovators. Those are the ones always coming up with ideas, always studying, always learning, they're really fucking smart people. So I feel like this may show up in your big three. This could be your rising. This could be your moon. Obviously, it's not your sun because this is a Capricorn reading. You've got to start thinking for yourself. You've got to start forming some individual thought processes. I feel like you don't too much like to express to people what goes on in your head. It's kind of like a what's understood don't got to be explained attitude with you. And I dig it. I dig it all the way. But we want to see your mind. I feel like you're so to yourself sometimes about what's up here. I feel like you've got beautiful things to say, but they're not being heard. Now back to the Bible real quick. The Bible, it's an ancient book, okay? It was actually an Ethiopian book. The Ethiopian Bible is the oldest Bible. It consists of about 88 books. And the King James Version, for example, the very popular version, consists of about 66. Okay? Two totally different numbers there. We all know how the 6 can be used. Because, there's people running around here fearing 666, being afraid of numbers. But nonetheless, it's still a symbol and it's still a sign. If you know what it means, I think you can break it down. But it is an ancient book. And so, because of my relationship with God and because of my sense of discernment, and because of a gift that God gave me, discernment is the ability to tell between what's real and what's fake. The foo-foo. The bullshit. We live in a world full of bullshit. We were indoctrinated very early, taught to believe everything that we're told and never question anything. And we're just not having that shit no more. Our souls are fighting back. The inner child, in combination with the children of today, are fighting the fuck back. We're tired. And so, in knowing that there was 88 books originally, and now all of a sudden there's 66, that lets me know that some shit was taken out. Okay, so my thought process goes, what are you hiding? Why are we taking shit out? Okay, then I know, this is my inner knowing. I know if some things were taken out, then of course some things were put in. One day I just thought about it, because I think sometimes, I have thoughts, and, I'll hear things and feel things and think things. And a thought that I had was, it's giving me very much two truth and a lie. Leave some, take some. Put some in, take some out. That's the vibe that I get. So when I read with discernment. And I would like for you to do the same. This isn't about conversion, because I can't convert you to something when I have no religion. My religion is love. This is all day, every day. But what I'm telling you is, I want you to form some of your own thoughts and opinions. I want you to study. God is calling his people to study. And I feel like a lot of the people that have a problem with the Bible don't know jack shit about it, or only believe what some pastor trying to scare, or priest trying to scare the shit out of you has told you. I'm going to give you the biggest clue. Where there is no God, or where there is fear, there is no God. God is not a God of fear. God is the God of love. So he's not going to be where fear is. Why? Because fear is a breed of hate. Hate and love are on two different ends of the spectrum. Vibrationally, they can't hang with each other. One of them is high, one of them is low. This is 92.3. This is 104.3. It doesn't, it's not the same. It's not of the same. Okay. So I need for you, and since we come from love, and love is truth, and the truth sets us free, you want to get into that vibration, but you can't get there if you don't even have a peak. If you're not able to form your own opinions, because trust, once you open, God can chime in. Once God gets in there, we're in there like swimwear. Now, the devil, and I want to say that he'll come in the form of friends. Okay? I'm not calling your friends devils, but what I'm saying is, when we're low vibrationally, spirits and things can inhibit us. When we vibrate higher, maybe a place of making our own decisions, thinking for ourselves, studying, learning, getting to know thyself, getting to know ourselves inside and out, big six energy, then we know the tricks. And those friends can't pop back up with that bullshit. You got it. You're a powerful being, Capricorn. When I think about what it means to be a Capricorn, and I'm not even one, but when I think about what it means to be you, I think of excellence. I think of superiority. Not really like you're better than anyone, but just in the way you carry yourself as a person to be respected. And I respect that. And so do other people. You probably get a lot of love out here, Capricorn, because of your loyalty. But you can't ever let people get it fucked up. And that's what they do when you're too loyal. They get it fucked up. They see that you're willing to let them come in and take over at the expense of you, yourself, your children, your girl, your man, whatever. They know that they know. And why is it right for anyone to think that unless it's, I can't tell you who this boils down to. Because I'm all about accountability. God holds me accountable every day. I hold my children accountable every day. People hold us accountable. But you have a lot of friends that act like when you start to hold them accountable, oh, bro, you don't change. You're not the same. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Yeah, you have changed. No, you're not the same, because now you're thinking with this. You're really thinking you're in your crown chakra. You know who you are. You understand that your kingdom or queendom is a birthright. So why would you let someone walk all over you? You know, loyalty, it can be crossed. People cross it every day. So don't ever be so caught up in the fact that you're so loyal that your people don't expect this from you. Maybe they need you to change up. Maybe they need you to flip the script. And as I say flip the script, it comes back to me that this card was upside down. They need for you to start. I feel like this is where the challenge is. The lack of individuality. The lack of wanting to be out there too far. The lack of wanting to think on your own. Be on your own. The independence. That's the thing about air signs, and I'll give them that. It's a very independent sign. Very independent. But I feel like the reason that you're not able to handle out or to carry out this sense of independence is loneliness. It's one of those situations where you could be in a full room, a crowded room, and still feel lonely. No one is touching you here within. No one's. I feel, Capricorn, that you're in that Capricorn ice. Capricorns can be really icy. And when I say icy, I don't mean icy to people. I feel on the inside. Icy. And I feel like that's why there's no flow. One thing, like I said, I noticed about these cups is the fact that these cups are upside down. Like, they're not holding water. They're letting water go. Water, to me, the way I see it, is actually flowing out of a cup. Now, we know ice doesn't move. Ice can't flow. But when it melts, I'm thinking about Omarion's song, I got a icebox. Or no, icebox where my heart used to be. That's energy I'm picking up. Cold. Life's situations have made you cold. I feel like you're out here thinking with a cold heart. Except only when it comes to yourself. I feel like that's personal. I feel like the grace that you give others, Capricorn, I don't even know that you give it to yourself. I feel like you are dependable, and your friends know they can depend on you. But I feel like the inner child in you is looking for you to pull through. Your judgment is clouded. Yeah. I feel, again, that call from God to get close. Come on. But I feel like, I don't know if you've had enough. Like, I feel like you know what you need to do. You know shit ain't working. You know shit ain't right. You know you need to sift through and find out the funny business. But I'm feeling very set in my ways energy. And that's going to work against you every time. The old ways of thinking, not being open to new ways of thinking. Capricorns are very traditional and very old school. And that can work against anybody. You know, it's like being, and don't get me wrong, I know record players were the shit, but it's like, having the capability to go on YouTube and, pick any song you want at any time, and then having to go through, someone having a record player and having to go through, find the record, maybe dust it off, make sure it's not scratched, and it's just like, Why, when you can do this? There's nothing wrong with new ways of doing things. There's nothing wrong with new ways of innovation. There's nothing wrong with changing. There's nothing wrong with studying. Even though we're not in school, I study every damn day. And I ain't been in school for a long time. When I talk about the Bible, it's not about getting you to look at the Bible and getting you to change your mind. It's not about getting you to look at the Bible and getting you to change your thought process. It's about piquing a curiosity. It's about turning to something new when normally you wouldn't. One of the verses in the Bible is lean not on thine own understanding. And people love to bend and twist this one right there. That's because, people take Bible verses and they bend them and they twist them. Everybody does it. And because it's a literal, not even just a literal, but a symbolic book, everyone gets accused of it. Everyone gets accused of it. Because, the heart can't be trusted. Our minds can't be trusted. To me, when I say lean out on thine own understanding, I just say that you can't think about godly things with human mindset, with human behavior. And I feel like you need to come from among your very earthly mindsets and start to leave some room for God to do amazing things. I feel like your thinking is very limited to proof right now. The proof, the visual proof. And I always have to tell everybody this: stop counting on what just the two eyes can see and start going to a place of thinking about what's happening that the eyes can't see. The world that we can't see, the realm that we can't see, the sensory places that we can't see. That is where God's moving at. God is something to be felt. He is something you feel. How do you feel him? You align with love. You align with your natural state of being. When you get to that place of love and you appreciate every moment, every struggle, every high, every low, you know that there's somebody working in the background on this shit. It's not just you. You understand that you and God are partners here. You're partners in this life. But when you take off and leave your partner behind for lack of knowledge, that's where you find yourself where you find yourself. Make God an everyday part of your life. He woke you up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So why are you only saying his name on Sunday? And I'm not to say that this is everybody. Some of y'all ain't even saying it on Sunday. Why are we just praying on Thanksgiving? Your life would do a complete 180 if you would realize that sometimes out with the old, in with the new. Some of you might not have a relationship with God. Some of you might have just stumbled. If you stumbled on this video, me and you, we're meant. We are meant. You're stuck. There's new ways to do things. It's time to let go of the old and join us in the new, Cappy. We need some of that foundation to go together with these new mindsets, this new way of doing things. I actually had a video where I had it messed up. Now I'm in complete awe because now I understand why we're moving into why we've moved into the age of Aquarius, because that's what the age of Aquarius is all about. But you may struggle with that, Capricorn, because you're traditional. You need to get in touch with your inner child. If you have children, spend time with your children. Have real conversations with your children. You're traditional. But the traditional you're giving me is like old people traditional. And I hate to say that because I love old people. I love my grandparents. But when a child thinks of what it means to be traditional, or when you come across like an older relative and you tell a friend, oh, they're traditional, you think of someone who's uptight. You think of someone who just doesn't laugh very often. You think of someone who just has the joy just sucked right out of. That's what I think of. You could be thinking, there's other, even weddings, you might want just the regular suit and the regular dress, just regular. I said that because something about weddings came up. I don't know, maybe somebody's getting married or going to a wedding or talking about weddings. There's new ways to do something. Don't be afraid of what's new. Be afraid of getting old and acting old, okay? Because the goal in life is to keep that inner child energy, to keep that loving innocence and move forward in life and ascend into graduation. Graduation is what I call a physical death. Ascend into graduation. And I'm not, that could have got really weird. Let me just do like a little disclaimer. The reason I call it graduation is because I think of like when an older person passes and you go to a funeral and they have a celebration of life, but you're also celebrating the fact that this person's spirit has ascended to a higher place. So I think of life as a school. So that's why I call it graduation, because after you finish life school, you graduate when we ascend. Now, some of us don't always end it in the best way. And I would be lying if I told you that we all are on God's team, because some of us have made some not so godly decisions and with our last dying breath chose to say nothing, do nothing. So you get nothing. That's just kind of how that goes. And I'm going to keep it all the way G. We are supposed to be young in heart and spirit, mind. Well, heart and spirit. Be young. And with our mind, that mature mindset, the one that's been from a child to an adult, using that wisdom in combination with that childlike essence, that's going to get us in. That's what gets us there. Getting to where we need to be. Going back home to God. I'm feeling really calm all of a sudden. I feel like that's what you needed to hear, Cappy. I trust what I feel, always. Because I know that just like the birds, God gave me an intuition. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a fourth card here. Oh, yeah. And I also want to say this, too. There's birds on this card. I got to say this. There's birds on this card. 2 birds. 2 has to do with balance. We talked about 2 energy. But when I see birds, anytime I see birds, especially this last year, because there's been so many singing birds, and people are like, what is up with all the birds? What is up with all the singing birds? Well, let me tell you. Like I said, and like I've been telling y'all, God's getting his army together. And part of getting his army together, he's got angels. And animals actually can show up as angels in our lives. And one of the big symbol for angels showing up in our lives has been birds visiting people. Birds visiting people's windowsills. The same bird coming back to visit people. Seeing birds, hearing birds, birds. So when you think about it, it's a really beautiful symbolism because it's a cute little innocent bird with wings, and we know angels have wings. So it's a nice symbolism. But I feel like you are being protected and guided. You're being, I don't want to say watched. I don't want to, but you have ancestors. You have angels, guardian angels, watching you through this time, watching you through the things that are going on in your life. I feel like that needed to be said so that you understand that you're not alone. You are not alone. As long as you have choices, you have power. That's it. As long as you have choices, you have power. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull this card from Yeshua. Also, if anyone has TikTok, Ash Bash Indigo, I don't know why that came in my head. I'm very new to it, but I will be posting. I try to make some type of post about the reading so that people know. All right, so this one that I pulled here is the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name. He shall teach you all things. John 14:26. This is just confirmation that whatever you need, God is always there. Like I said, you're never alone. Some of you may be learning, not learning, wondering. And that's the thing about humans. The how, what, when, where, why, that's none of our business. God always covers all that. And when you know that God's in your life and when he's moving in your life and you have the knowing that, okay, he's always there. You don't ask those questions because you know that he's going to provide for you like a parent provides for their child. The Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name. He shall teach you all things. The Holy Spirit, I want to say the Holy Spirit is the equivalent to what we're connected to, the higher self. So the Holy Spirit is the higher self of God, which is equivalent to the higher self in ourselves. That is the inner child. That is the part of us that is there to walk us home. That is the part that you need to get in tune with. Because as you let go of people, as you make the decisions that need to be made per the 7 of Cups, letting go of people, 5 of Swords, letting go of the fear of the new, being innovative in your thought processes and the way that you deal with people and things. You're going to need God. You're going to need to have security in a relationship with yourself to be able to do those things. If you don't have the security in the relationship with yourself, how do you get it? You talk to God. It's interchangeable. When we understand ourselves, we understand God. Like when we have complete and utter understanding of ourselves, when we have sovereignty of the thought processes that we are separate beings. I am me. And what are the things that make me me? I mean, when we dive deep down there, we understand God. When we understand God, we understand ourselves. We are an extension of him. He is an extension of us. We are intertwined. What ties us together? Love. We come from him. We were made in his image. He is love. He is the ultimate energy. The energy of all energies is love. That's where we come from. So, of course, we're always going to have that tie unless we cut ourselves off. Now, our parents may cut us off. Someone may cut us off. But there's always going to be that small, still voice in us that wants to know, why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? Is there a God? There's always going to be that voice, no matter how much someone tries to turn it off. Okay? I love you, Capri. Have a good night. Mwah.